Fiancé Visa Interview Questions 2019. How to prepare for Trump extreme vetting. The most frightening moment of the Fiancé Visa application process is when your foreign fiancé first sits in front of the consular officer waiting for the interview to start. Your fiancé knows that soon, based upon what happens in the next moments, a decision will be made by that officer that affects your future lives together. One misstep, one wrong answer, and possibly all the effort, all the planning, all of your dreams, may come tumbling down. I believe in preparation, and I believe that if you and your fiancé prepare for the interview by studying the comprehensive list of sample questions and tips that I present here, your fiancé will be ready and confident to do well when the time comes. Now, of course, if you and I have already been working together, I have already personally crafted your front-loaded application, and that anticipates the tough questions and answers them with, details and evidences and carefully chosen evidences that, I have included with your application that the consular officer will read before the interview starts. Now, having accomplished VisaCoach's preparation, we know that most or all the officer's concerns, have already been anticipated and answered. So, in that case, your fiancé probably won't have more than a few questions left before saying, welcome, or hearing, welcome to USA. But there's no such thing as being over-prepared. So even if you are already a VisaCoach client, it's worthwhile to review these questions in advance of the interview. If you're not a VisaCoach client and you want a written copy of these practice questions, you can get the list by subscribing to the free VisaCoach monthly newsletter. You'll get the complete written set of questions as a subscription bonus. I am Fred Wahl, the VisaCoach, and I help you smoothly get through, a confusing and frustrating immigration process so that you can have a happy life together in the USA with your foreign partner. Now, please watch to the end of this video because towards the end, I have added new questions that are now asked, due to President Trump's executive orders mandating, stricter and more vigorous enforcement of immigration laws, as well as the IMBRA guidelines. So now let's talk about practice questions for the K1 Fiancé Visa interview. Again, I'll talk about myself. VisaCoach's full visa support includes preparation of all the applications and also guidance and personal attention all the way through to visa issuance. So I always stay in direct contact with my clients all the way. And right after the interview, I always call up and ask, hey, how did it go? And what questions were asked? Now, this list of questions that we're going to show here is the culmination of the feedback that I have gotten from, thousands of grateful couples that I have helped get their visas. I've attempted to group the questions into logical sections, and I will post them that way for you to read. But I won't read aloud each question because I think that makes the video go, too slow and too long. Instead, with each section, I will give some tips and insights over the thing. And then I'll let the questions, speak for themselves. Now, if this video moves along too fast, just pause the video to take more time to read the screen. Now, remember, if you want a full copy of the list, just visit VisaCoach.com and subscribe to the free VisaCoach monthly newsletter. The following are questions that might be asked at your interview. American fiancé's general background. These questions are generic and simple. They are just about the basics to show that you know your fiancé. Height, weight, color of eyes, favorite food, and so on. Your answers give the consular officer confidence that you have spent time together in person and online. Your quick and simple answers will demonstrate that you know the person whom you plan to marry. American fiancé's family. Marriage is more than the joining of two people. it is a joining of families as well. The more you know about your fiancé's family, the better prepared you are for your future life together, and the more convincing you will be at the interview. American fiancés' living arrangements. Questions about the Americans' living arrangements demonstrate an older, knowledgeable relationship. Knowing the answers demonstrates that you have spent, well, much time getting to know each other and are planning for your future. Knowing the details of your fiancé's living arrangements shows that you are seriously planning to move in together and to have a life together. American fiancé's marriage history. Knowing the details of your fiancé's marital history is important. These questions may pop up if your fiancé has been divorced, especially more than once. The officer wants to check whether your fiancé has been honest to you about his past. The officer may want to gauge whether you really know what you're getting into and whether or not you are prepared to deal with the consequences of your fiancé's past marriages, such as living with stepchildren. American fiancés' work. The officer may wish to also check if you have an idea as to how well off or poor you may expect to be in the USA. So he may ask for more details about your fiancé's work and finances. Foreign fiancé's general background. The officer may ask you some questions about yourself. This is generally to provide some easy questions to help relax you, to warm you up. If English is not your native tongue, it is also to gauge whether the interview, well, can be conducted in English or not. Foreign fiancé's interview preparation. Questions about what you brought are sometimes also used to warm you up at the start of the interview. Foreign fiancé's work. This is the same for the things that you do. Foreign fiancé's marriage history. Questions may be asked about your marital history and children. U.S. immigration feels that if you get your visa to the USA, your children may sometimes follow, so they are interested to learn about them. Foreign fiancé's family. It is a huge step to leave one's home and family to immigrate to the USA to marry and spend your life with someone you may have only known briefly. Questions about your family and their interactions with your fiancé are intimate questions asked sometimes when the officer suspects problems. The more specific details you can share about these interactions, the better. And while it is nice that your parents approve of your fiancé, the counselor officer is not really concerned whether they do or not. The officer is checking whether they know about your fiancé and your plans for marriage. Eligibility for U.S. immigration. There may also be asked some general questions about previous visa applications, criminal history, and so on. Courtship. On the counselor officer's mind is the possibility that your relationship might be a sham. So the officer may start asking questions that are more complicated. No longer are simple yes or no, one-word answers acceptable. The officer is looking for more detailed, specific answers. Couples that are bona fide have plenty of background details they can share. And the opposite is true of couples who are shamming or who have not actually gotten to know each other. So when given this type of, essay question, be sure to provide specific details with your answer. For example, when asked about the proposal, an answer like, on July 5, we were having dinner at the Happy Days seafood restaurant on Main Street. My fiancé got down on his knees and proposed. I was so happy, I screamed. The whole restaurant stopped what they were doing, looked at us, then realized what had happened and applauded. Now this, of course, if it's true, would be better than a terse "he proposed at dinner." In-person meetings. These questions are similar. Provide details when you can. Communications. Bona fide couples communicate often. Provide details where you can. Wedding plans. The Fiancee visa is for the purpose of getting married in the USA. So the officer may ask what your plans are. It is okay to have detailed plans or very general rough plans, but it is suspicious if you have no plans at all. The answer, "we'll figure that out at the time," is not good enough. A better answer is, "we haven't made a final decision yet, but are considering getting married at blank, then going for our honeymoon at blank." Future plans. A bona fide couple makes plans. These include where they will live, who works, etc. International Marriage Broker Regulation Act, IMBRA. The U.S. Congress passed the International Marriage Broker Regulation Act a decade ago. Its purpose is to protect you, the final fiancé, from bad Americans. Being a law, its guidelines must be followed. And if you met online at a dating website or using a matchmaker, you should be prepared to answer these questions. American fiancés' court history. The counselor officer will have a copy of the background check that the FBI conducted on your American fiancé. The officer might ask you questions about what the report shows in order to assess if your fiancé has been honest with you. Social media. New in 2019 are detailed questions about your social media use. Red flag questions. If your application has red flags, such as, significant age difference, brief courtship, fast engagement, only a single meeting, or long time has passed since your last meeting, or there's participation of matchmakers, you might be faced with the following questions. My favorite questions. And finally, my favorite 2 questions. And hopefully, these are the easiest ones to answer. Now, not all the above questions will be asked, but some will. It is best to be prepared, just in case. And of course, regardless of the immigration process, these questions give you and your fiancé, something to talk about and work on together. They will help you get to know each other much better. And that is certainly a worthy exercise for any couple contemplating marriage to accomplish, before the wedding day. Best of luck at your interview. Fingers crossed. Now, this was Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. This helps others, just like you, find us. And then like or add your comments to this video. Finally go to VisaCoach.com and sign up for the VisaCoach monthly newsletter. It's full of tips and advice on marriage-based immigration, and it's free of charge. And when you sign up, you get 2 free eBooks I have written. 155 K1 Visa interview practice questions. This is the revised version with the added questions due to the IMBRA rules and President Trump's executive orders that influence immigration that I've been talking about today. And 5 things you must know before starting on your visa. Now, finally, when you're ready to get started, call for your complimentary case evaluation and speak with me directly.
If you are considering hiring VisaCoach to personally guide you through your immigration adventure, join him for a complimentary case evaluation. He listens to you to learn the red flags and strengths of your case, your eligibility and goals. He suggests which visa is right for you, the best strategy to get it, and how soon your partner can join you. To learn more about VisaCoach's services and how he can help you, book your free case evaluation today.